Hey everyone, if you've been watching your organic traffic wildly fluctuate lately, let me just say you are absolutely not alone. We are right in the middle of a massive shift toward AI-driven search engines. So, in today's explainer, we're going to break down exactly why this is happening, what outdated tactics you need to stop doing immediately, and how you can actually thrive in this new landscape without, hitting the panic button.
For years, there was this hilarious but honestly incredibly effective industry secret that was basically the gold standard for bloggers. The idea was super simple. If a 5-year-old could understand your basic premise, and someone who was completely distracted, or let's say half paying attention, could still manage to skim your page and find what they needed, then your content was clear enough. And you know what? It worked flawlessly for human users and for Google's traditional ranking algorithms.
But here is the million-dollar question for 2026. What happens to that rule when you toss large language models, or LLMs, into the mix? Because you aren't just writing for distracted human readers anymore. You're now writing for complex AI systems that are rapidly scanning, parsing, and summarizing your work. They're deciding, literally in milliseconds, if your content is structured and clear enough to retrieve and cite as the absolute best possible answer.
So go ahead and hit pause on that panic button. In this explainer, we have a clear roadmap to navigate this whole transition. We'll be looking at the search paradigm shift, the outdated advice you need to drop today, why clarity beats complexity, and finally, your actionable 2026 plan.
All right, part 1, the search paradigm shift. We are moving entirely away from simple blue links to fully constructed answers. And this shift is exactly why your old single keyword strategy is falling flat. It comes down to a concept called query fanout. Think about it. When someone searches for easy chicken enchiladas, the AI doesn't just look for that exact phrase anymore. It evaluates the entire context of the task as this massive web of interconnected nodes and entities. It's simultaneously pulling in data about cook times, ingredient substitutions, whether to use corn or flour tortillas, and what side dishes pair best, all to build a completely comprehensive response on the fly.
You can kind of think of the old model as a highly mechanical checklist, right? You picked a keyword, put it in the title, shoved it into your headers, hit publish, and just waited to rank. But the new model, it's a dynamic web. It demands true topic clarity, structured data accuracy, strong brand trust, and demonstrable first-hand experience. The AI needs to definitively know who you are and why your specific answer deserves to surface above thousands of similar options.
Moving on to part 2, outdated advice to ignore. Seriously, it is time to stop using the old playbook.
Look, there are some habits you just need to drop right now. Writing a 3,000-word essay just to tell someone they can swap butter for oil doesn't make your page better. It actually actively annoys your readers and confuses the language models. And stop faking freshness by just updating the date on an old post without actually improving the content. Both users and algorithms see right through that. Oh, and please stop blindly writing for SEO plugin scores. Algorithms don't cook dinners, they don't plan vacations, and they don't troubleshoot problems. Humans do.
Think about the friction you might be accidentally creating here. A beautiful photo of the finished dish? Great. A really useful process shot? Excellent. But bombarding a user with 5 nearly identical shots from slightly different angles before they even get to see an ingredient list? You're driving away a tired parent trying to get food on the table, and you are actively burying the actual data the AI is trying to extract.
And hey, that exact same logic applies to those super robotic FAQ sections we all see jammed at the bottom of articles. Before you dump a bunch of awkward, semantically related keyword phrases into a section just because some tool told you to, stop and ask yourself, would a real human being ever actually ask this? If not, cut it. Make sure you're providing actual value and solving real problems instead of just stuffing the page with filler.
Which brings us to part 3, why clarity beats complexity. This is basically your ultimate AI optimization strategy.
There is such a massive difference between depth and bloat. Depth means answering natural follow-up questions, providing specific context, and helping your users make decisions faster and with way more confidence. Bloat, on the other hand, is just repeating the same point 3 different ways because a competitor word count tool made you nervous. AI systems are looking for clean relationships, context, and logical steps. Bloat just gets in their way.
So, thinking back to our rule from the beginning, you are now writing for 3 distinct audiences. The toddler who needs the page simple enough to follow, the drunk adult who needs it forgiving enough to skim, and the LLM that needs clean structure, entities, and relationships. If you satisfy all 3 of these audiences by meticulously removing friction and organizing your thoughts, you win. You aren't dumbing things down.
You're just respecting the reader's time and giving the language models exactly the data structure they crave.
All right, Part 4, your 2026 action plan. Let's look at some practical steps to build owned audiences.
The roadmap to survive this is actually remarkably simple. You don't need to rebuild your entire site overnight, and you definitely don't need to panic install a dozen new AI plugins. You just need to update the articles that already have traction, treat Google as just one of many discovery channels, and prioritize absolute clarity above all else.
When you're diving into Google Search Console and finding those high-value posts sitting just outside meaningful visibility, this is the only question that matters when you update them. Did you add better testing notes? Did you give clearer substitution guidance? Did you add more accurate pricing for a travel guide? Because if the answer is no, you didn't actually improve the content. Actually, you just touched it.
To actually improve that page, focus heavily on reducing friction. Add a crystal clear summary right at the top to anchor the reader immediately. Use your headings as actual, useful signposts, not just keyword dumpsters. And this is huge. If aggressive ads, pop-ups, and email captures prevent a user from actually reading your content, your short-term revenue win is absolutely going to create a long-term visibility disaster.
And please, never underestimate descriptive internal linking. It's one of the most powerful, underused SEO tools you have. Using descriptive anchor checks doesn't just help a tired parent find another meal. It actively trains the AI algorithms on exactly how the topical relationships on your site connect. You are literally feeding the machine the context it needs to trust you as an authority.
To wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a somewhat uncomfortable truth. Google is rented land. A ranking can vanish tomorrow. An AI overview can suddenly answer the query right there on the search page. To truly future-proof your business in 2026, you absolutely must start building a dedicated, owned audience through email, social channels, or direct communities. Ask yourself right now, are you building a resilient business or are you just renting traffic?